Sean Myrie. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Right? How you people doing today? It's a Monday. For us, it's a long weekend. But a lot of things been going on out there in the universe. And I've been saying this for a while. What's going on? What's going on? Especially in America. Do you have freedom of speech? Really? Recent news, right? America warns about criticizing ICE on social media. This is what I'm talking about. The US government, particularly ICE, has expressed concerns about the increased level of external threat activities directed at senior leaders, personnel, and facilities of social media. That facilities of social media. This had led to the request for information from companies to help monitor comments online, including social media platforms. Boy, this is New World Order in America. See this shit? What freedom of speech? The request aims to identify potential threats and negative comments. So they're so sensitive now that they are worried about comments and people's opinions online. Comments about ICE utilizing various technologies such as geolocation. Started with the TikTok, I'm telling you, psychological profiles, and facial recognition. Fuck, this is bad, man. This initiative is part of the broader trend of government monitoring online rhetoric to protect various public figures and institutions. Not surprised with all this Epstein stuff and government people and people who are important, right? That they want to kind of protect them right now, right? Let's up, OG Kicks. This is bad. I was talking about this for a good while. The pressure on the tech companies to censor content related to ICE operations has been significant, with lawsuits and demands from the government officials to remove content that could be perceived as threatening. This situation has raised concerns about the balance between protecting public safety and upholding constitutional rights to free speech. The surveillance program by ICE is a significant step in the digital surveillance of social media. This is not good, especially for American citizens. Now, what's next? I keep saying what's next. This is what it is: social media, potentially affecting the freedom and the activity of individuals who criticize the agency. Critics argue that this initiative could infringe on constitutional protective speech and resemble mass surveillance with little evidence that is effective at advancing security objectives. This is like the UK, people. They're doing like the UK. Like, this is like what we say New World Order shit. This is what we're saying policing government. I've been talking about this for a while now. And damn, now all the MAGA people, what do you got to say about this? They're taking away basically your freedom to express. And the technology, what people use to express, is social media. So now you can't even criticize your own government. This is like communism. If you guys just joined this, America warns about criticizing ICE on social media. So they don't want nobody criticizing the actions what ICE been doing, and not just ICE, other people. When will this end? When will this end? Is it because of all the important billionaires that might get exposed because of this whole Epstein shit, right? The government, this is, I read it, and I think a lot of citizens in America should read this right now. I don't know if you guys know about this news. It's recent news. And basically, if you're a content maker in America, they're trying to like shut you up. They're trying to make you quiet, that you can't even talk about not just the ICE. You can't criticize Trump. You can't talk about anything what's going on. This is like a blackout, a media blackout they're trying to do. Very, very crazy shit. I'll read it again. The US government, particularly ICE, has expressed concerns about the increased level of external threat activities directed at senior leaders. The leaders, right? So you can't criticize them. Freedom of speech. Personal facilities on social media. This had led to the request for information from companies to help monitor comments online, including social media platforms. Freedom of speech, so called, right? Comments online, including social media platforms. The request aims to identify potential threats and negative comments. So you got to praise your government now. You got to bow down and kiss their ass. Like I said, TikTok. I was telling you guys about TikTok. I was telling you, whoever uses TikTok in America, you can't say nothing on TikTok because they really monitor that already. This is the end of a lot of things, man. This I don't even like this for my American folk. This is bad, man. About ICE utilizing various technologies such as geolocation. So they want to know your location. So they want to add the same shit. Like I said, it started with TikTok to everything. They want to do the same thing they're doing on TikTok to everything, right? Geolocation, psychological profiles, facial recognition. They're kind of doing that already. The initiative is part of a broader trend of government monitoring online rhetoric to protect various public figures. This is sad, yo. This is really bad that they want to do all of this to the so-called freedom of speech. You lost all your rights. There's no rights, what I see, in America anymore, fully. This is crazy. So they want to shut you all up. You can't say nothing. They're protecting figures, figures, rhetoric to protect various public figures, right? Oh, so let me say clearly on every media platform, I can F ICE American, yeah, Gestapo. You're right. You are right what you're saying. Cryptic, you're right. It's bad. This is a bad thing. I think it's going over people's heads. That's why I got to do this story because I think it's really going over people's heads. This should be a viral thing. I guess it's still a news story, but guess what, people? This is your last time, Americans, to basically express yourself right now. This is an emergency. I'm telling you now, as a content maker, this is an emergency time to express yourself against Trump because they're basically gonna be watching all comments. They're gonna knock your door. This is another excuse for ICE just to knock your door. This is for every American citizen, not just immigrant, not just a person who's illegal, whatever, alien. This is for everybody. They're incorporating the stuff what's going on in England, UK. They're incorporating that. This is bad. This is probably the biggest news besides all this Epstein shit. See what's going on? The Epstein stuff is bringing up all these public figures and would probably dig up more people. And is it a coincidence they're putting this through? You got to look on it. We need ICE. Yes, but do you need this? Do you need this? You can't say nothing. So it's not Democrat, it's not Republican. This is for everyone. Basically, you can't even criticize even a Democrat, even if you don't like what the Democrats are saying. This is protecting billionaires, even maybe celebrities. That's why Nicki Minaj was probably all up in there with Donald Trump. Let me read this if you guys don't know. Utilizing various technologies such as geolocation, psychological profiles, facial recognition like TikTok. This initiative is part of the broader trend of government monitoring online rhetoric to protect various public figures and institutions. So they're doing it in a smart way. They're taking away your freedom of speech, Americans. So, MAGA people, what you got to say about that? Much respect. Greeting from Poland. Yep, much respect. You don't have that. And other countries don't have to worry about this, but this is the biggest news, should be the biggest news for all Americans. They're taking away your freedom. Now, this is Big Brother fully telling you, and it's not just ICE. It's not just ICE, people. Now, as I read for the people who just joined, the pressure on tech companies to censor content related to ICE Operations had been significant with lawsuits and demands from the government officials to remove content that could be perceived as threatening. TikTok. The situation have raised concerns about the balance between protecting public safety and upholding constitutional rights for free speech. You have no free speech. There is no free speech. There is no free speech. This is probably the biggest news in a long time for especially if you're American, right? No, it's not because I already told you I studied about the whole TikTok shit. This is the same thing as TikTok. Black Wolf, do you know about what they done with TikTok? Do you know the rules of TikTok now? You have to give up all your information, where you live, your race, your sex, whatever. The list keeps going. The list keeps going right now. So it's the same thing they're applying. They want to apply it to Instagram and all these other ones. So what is out of context? I could keep looking at it and not just one article. That's the main thing. ICE plans to monitor social media. I heard about this. I was warning people about this probably a month ago, what Vance was saying, right? He's going to use this to track people down, right? It's crazy. Vance was saying, the vice president, immigration and customs enforcement are planning to increase the online monitoring initiatives to observe any negative sentiments people make online to collect information on individuals who make threats against ICE. It's not just threats, just talking. And there's some idiots who are making threats against ICE. Citing an increased level of external threat activity directed at senior leaders, personal and facility social media, online posting the agency put out requests for information back in November seeking companies who help monitor comments online. In a 15-page statement of objectives, ICE said it seeks a company that can social media open source online databases, the dark web and the deep web to find potential threats and identify them to the agency using geolocation, psychology profiles, facial recognition technology, and more. So they're telling you the stuff to like they're trying to protect themselves. It's everything, man. It's everything. People, please like and subscribe. This is everything. This is the end. This is the end of your so-called freedom of speech. You have no more freedom of speech. So you have freedom right now, right here. You got the freedom to talk right now because they're taking it away from you. They're gonna take away all your comments, all your opinions won't matter. It's just starting. They're saying ICE is monitoring. No, this just it's with TikTok. Look up TikTok, right? Look up TikTok. What they have done, the update. Look that up. And this is connected to this. So no freedom of speech. I could start saying that. No freedom of speech in America. So you better start just putting out your comments right now, your opinions right now, especially if you're American. What do you think of this? Are you going to be quiet or are you going to speak up? If you're in America and you're on social media, you can't say nothing anymore. You got to keep your mouth shut. And part of this is to protect the billionaires and wealthy people right now in a situation being investigated. So if this really gets pushed now, those type of people will be protected and you can't talk about them and maybe you won't know about them. This is what they're doing right now. People, please subscribe, bring up the likes if you can. The statement of objectives and request for information was posted to a government contracting website in November after Donald Trump won the presidential election with promises to enact aggressive mass deportation plan. However, it asked for a response before January 6, 2025, 2 weeks before Trump took office. It's unclear the objectives and requests resulted in any official contract. Independent has asked ICE for more information. A lot of the hate beats come from people outside the country and in the country. And in the country. So it's not people, they can't get anybody out. It's people inside they're talking about. They're talking about you. If you're American, they're talking about you. Nobody else. They don't give a shit about that. They're talking about you. That's who they're talking about. So if you're even talking about a Democrat, You're talking about people on the other side. They're talking about you. No matter what, they're going for everybody. They don't care. They're not favoring any side. They're talking about the American citizens. If you talk about ICE, and I said this before, probably a couple weeks ago, they're coming for you. So you cannot have an opinion, especially if you're American, about what's going on, right? It's not uncommon for the government to monitor the internet for speech that could be interpreted as threatening or dangerous. Both Democrats and Republicans have highlighted the importance of remaining aware of online rhetoric in protecting lawmakers, civil servants, judges, politicians, and more. So, like I said, I didn't even read that before. I knew that. So, this is exactly what I'm saying. Republicans and Democrats are coming together because a lot of them are in that dirt with the Epstein shit. And this could help them, right? People, bring up the likes if you can, and please subscribe. So this could help the Democrats and Republicans. They're both coming together. There's no fight. So your freedom of speech is gone. I said that before, no freedom of speech exists. And this is proof. I'm giving you the proof, right? The Federal Bureau of Investigation similarly put out a request proposal in 2020 seeking companies that could monitor social media for certain types of threats. This would be the second online monitoring contract ICE had in the last 5 years. However, a new contract directing a company to monitor online comments and potential threats is aptly timed with Trump's new controversial deportation and immigration policies. Sure, it's that. Sure, it's just the immigration policies. It's more. That's quiet now. It's not the immigration policies you worry about. You're worried about all this stuff they're talking about Trump and the Epstein stuff because it's getting hot right now in the kitchen. That's all he's worried about. He's worried about people start digging and digging more. And guess what? Some billionaires are crying to him, or maybe, that's why they're putting this out. Across the country, protest. Okay, let me go back to this. So it's going into a different age in America now. You can't talk about the president. You can't talk about nobody. So there is no freedom of speech. That's what it is. You lost all the freedom. TikTok is one of them. 200 million people are on TikTok. 200 million people are on TikTok. I could dig that up for you if you want to know, right? And people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I could dig that up if you want to know. You lost your freedom. You lost your freedom fully. This is a new age, 2026, right? They're putting it out there. Don't talk about ICE. Don't criticize Trump. Don't criticize anybody if it's Republican or Democrat. They're coming for all of you. So the government is not for one side. Take that out of your head. It doesn't matter if it's MAGA or Democrat. Both of them are really together, like I said long time ago. And right now, both of them are in hot water with the Epstein shit. Straight up. That's what it is. They're just using this whole immigration stuff and MAGA stuff, whatever. No, that's crap, right? I'll go to another article. Homeland Security wants social media sites to expose anti-ICE. To expose anti-ICE. That's what they want, right? Homeland Security wants social media sites to expose anti-ICE. See, something just came up. Shit. Damn, I'm getting out of this one already. This is crazy. Man, this is what Trump's doing. Your guy is doing all of this. ICE plans to monitor negative social media. Man, you go on Instagram, you know how much negative negative stuff they're talking about ICE, right? So he wants Instagram, he wants everybody. The DHS is reportedly pressing social media platforms for info 3 days ago. And you know what? That's why other shit overshadows stories. Like I said, what this is all a distraction, people, right? I just asked somebody today about a certain story they didn't even know, and it was big news. So this is an example. This is they have distractions out there mixed up, right? They're screwing up with your brains, right? And now they're taking away your freedom. Americans, the so-called proud American and the MAGA people, especially the MAGA, you have no freedom. This is Trump. People, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. You don't got no freedom. ICE plans to monitor social media. Once again, I got this picture with the eye, right? Let me put it up. If you don't know, now you know. This is your government, man. Whew. Doing a mess, doing too much, man. Always watching how ICE plans to monitor social media 24/7, threaten privacy and civic participation. So they can't monitor the world. They could try to monitor the world, but this is going to make some situations. When most people think about immigration enforcement, they picture border crossing and airport checkpoints. But the new front line may be your social media feed. Yeah. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement had published a request for information for private sector contractors to launch a round the clock social media monitoring program. The request states that the private contractors will be paid to comb through the Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Tumblr, Instagram, VK, Flickr, even MySpace, X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, of course, Reddit, WhatsApp, YouTube, oh God, etc. Turning public posts into enforcement leads the feed directly into ICE's database. Whew, damn, they're coming down on you, man. Shit. What are they? This is what is this? Russia? The request for it must be Russia. They're copying Russia. Oh God. These guys are actually copying Russia. Russia just the other day came out how they banned all of this shit. But instead of banning it in America, they're going to put out a full request and telling you guys this 3 days ago, and no one, and this is not going big. So they're copying Russia, people. That's what they're doing. The request for information reads like something out of a cyber thriller. Dozens of analysts working in shifts, strict deadlines measured in minutes, a tirade system of proprietizing high risk individuals, and the latest software keeping constant watch. This is like what Russia's doing with Putin, but a different thing. They can't say, "Oh, we're going to ban it," but they're going to do with Americans and say, "Yeah, you could have it, but we're telling you, we're watching you. We already knew that you were watching, but they're telling you we're fully even putting it down with the ICE. This is where the money's going. This is where your American tax dollar is going." Right? I'm a researcher who studies the intersections of data governance, digital technologies, and the US federal government. I believe that ICE requests for information also signals a concerning, if logical, next step in longer trend, one that moves the US border from the physical world into the digital world. So you're just taking your freedom away, man. A new structure of surveillance. ICE already searches social media using a service called SocialNet. I didn't know that monitors most major online platforms. The agency has also contracted with Signal Labs. It's an AI powered social media monitoring system. They got it. The Customs and Border Protection Agency also searches social media posts on the device of some travelers at ports of entry. So if you guys want them to take their mask off, they want you guys to take your mask off in a way. People, please bring up the likes and subscribe. So you're going to have to give up your freedom, your ass. Freedom of speech in America? Man, this is a dark day for you guys, man. If you're American, man, what would change? What would change isn't only the scale of monitoring, but its structure. Instead of government agents gathering evidence case by case, ICE is building a public private surveillance loop that transforms everyday online activity into potential evidence. It's bad. Private contractors will be tasked with scrapping public available data to collection messages, including posts and other media and data. Shit. I'm staying off of some of these American sites, man. This is going to be fucking crazy, a shit show. The contractors will be able to correlate those findings with data in commercial databases from brokers such as LexisNexis, Corini and Thomson Reuters clear along with government-owned databases. Analysts would be required to produce dossiers for ICE field offices with the tight deadlines, sometimes just 30 minutes for high priority cases. It's over for you guys, man. Get off fucking TikTok. Sorry about the cursing, but get off. Whew. Yeah. Yep, man. They're coming for you guys. No freedom you guys got, man. Whew. Epstein files. This is to protect the Epstein files. I put it all together. I seen this all coming. I've been telling you people what's going on. And please like and subscribe. This is your time to put out your freedom of speech right now in the comments, because probably within a week you can't do shit. Those files don't exist in isolation. They feed directly into parliamentary technologies, investigation case management systems, the digital backbone of modern immigration enforcement. There is social media data would join a growing web of license plate scans, utility records, property data, biometrics, creating it effectively a searchable portrait of a person's life. Much of that will be kicked out by the courts to protect free speech. Let's see, because Trump is doing a lot of stuff. Let's see if that works. JR, you can't make comments online in England. They tried to do that in America. So, yes, I was talking about England as a model. I was talking about England, and they were protesting in the streets against the digital ID, and they won. So just look up England, America. It's coming soon. What's going on? What's going on, Alex? The ICE want to monitor all Americans. They want to monitor all your comments, your opinions, find where you are. Basically, you can't say anything. It's becoming communist. That's what they're going to do. They're making America into a communist country more. And Russia already done this, and they're copying Russia. Russia banned all these platforms just the other day. What a coincidence. I'm letting you guys know I'm getting down to earth. Russia, Putin just banned Instagram, WhatsApp. I forgot what else he's banned, but this is what they're doing. See, I follow the pattern. It's going on, and they're so obvious. That's why people like me, they're scared of. Private contractors would ask with scraping public available data to collect messages, including posts and other media data. Okay, those files don't exist. Okay, so what else is? Who gets caught in the net? Because you remember they've been arresting people in England. They've been locking people up in England, and no one's talking about it. They've been locking people up in England. They're already monitoring us via our cell phones. I know that. They've been monitoring people from the internet was existed, but they've been locking people up in England. People, bring up the likes if you can, and please subscribe. This is your time, if you're in the chat, to put out your opinions, because it will be over soon, within a week or two. You can't even speak. This is crazy. This should be the biggest news on Instagram online, because you can't say nothing. And if you think you're going to say anything, you're going to see the ICE visit you, right? What ICE says, what history shows. ICE framed the project as modernization, a way to identify targets' locations by identifying aliases, detecting patterns that traditional method might miss. Planning documents say contractors cannot create fake profiles, must store all analysis on ICE servers. Okay. Hopefully you guys fight in America. Hopefully you fight. Fight for your freedom. But history suggests these kinds of guardrails often fail. Investigations have revealed how informal data sharing between local police and federal agents allowed ICE to access systems it wasn't authorized to use. The agents have repeatedly purchased massive data sets from brokers to sidestep warrant requirements, and despite a White House freeze on spyware procurements, ICE quietly revived a contract with Paragon Graphite Tool software, reportedly capable of infiltrating encrypted apps such as WhatsApp and Signal. So you see what's going on? They're doing the same thing, right? The same thing like Russia. Same thing like Russia. They're doing the same thing like Russia. No different. My family fought and killed and died in wars for this country. It's offensive that someone sneaks here then wants to change it and make us leave. It's not no one sneaking. This is America. This has nothing to do with no immigrant stuff. They even explain this. ICE does more than just deport people, if you don't know. Look up the description of ICE. They do way more than just deport people. This has nothing just to do with the immigrant stuff. That's an excuse. This is just for every single American. They're using ICE to capture Americans any type of way. Just throw that out of the door. And yes, respect, you fought for your country, but you need to fight more right now. Meanwhile, ICE, the vendor ecosystem, keeps expanding. Clearview AI for face matching. This is for every single American who's using social media, who they feel is going to be talking against the government in any type of way. Shadow Dragon social net for mapping the networks. Babel Streets location history service. Locate X. The Lexus Nexus for looking up people. ICE is also purchasing tools from surveillance firm Penlink. It's interesting to know where these companies are and who owns them. Penlink, the combined location and data with social media data. Together, these platforms make continuous automated monitoring not only possible but routine. It's over, man. It's over. This should be the biggest news. Forget about Jay Z and stuff about what is his name again? Vlad and all this stupid stuff, what is really just a distraction. This is a distraction. Meanwhile, they're distracting you with Epstein files. They're taking away your freedom. People, please like if you can and subscribe. Right? So, meanwhile, they're talking about Epstein files. They're taking away your freedom. This is to protect rich people too, and people like in that whole case right now. Politicians, dirty politicians, right? It's to protect certain people in power. Lessons from abroad. Let me teach you guys this because it's coming to America. It's probably already there. The United States isn't alone in government monitoring of social media. In the United Kingdom, a new police unit tasked with scanning online discussions about immigration and civil unrest has drawn criticism for blurring the line between public safety and political policing. So, like I said, it's already in England. And I've been telling people it's coming soon to America. They already done it with TikTok. It's already in place with TikTok, people. Please like if you can. So, social media is public, it's not private media. You're right. It's public, and not all of it's owned by America. But let's see. People, please like and subscribe. So, this is already going on in the UK, and people actually came out and protest about the what's called the digital style ID, and they dropped it. Excuse me. They made it just if you want it, you can have it, but people actually protested against it. This is what people need to protest against. Now Americans need to go out. I don't know if you guys are going to do that, but you need to go out and start protesting against all of this because this is against your constitution, I'm guessing. Across the globe, okay, so it says social cost of being watched, right? Around the clock surveillance doesn't just gather information, it also changes behavior. Research found that visits to Wikipedia, oh God, now they're going that far, man. Research found that visits to Wikipedia articles on terrorism dropped sharply immediately after revelations about the National Security Agency global surveillance in June 2013. It's getting worse, people. It's getting worse for you guys. People, please like, and subscribe. For immigrants and activities, the stakes are higher. A post about the protest or joke can be reinterpreted as intelligence. Knowing that federal contractors may be watching in real time encourages self censorship, meaning you'll be quiet, you'll shut your damn mouth. That's what they mean, and discouraging civil participation. So you won't go out there and protest, and it doesn't have to be just about immigration. It could be about LGBTQ. If you're black and you're fighting to protest against harassment, all those types of stuff. In this environment, the digital self and identity composed of biometric markers, algorithm classification, risk scores, and digital traces become the risk that follows you across platforms and databases. Damn, they're going hard on you people, man. They're going hard. What's new and why it matters. This is crazy. This is very important what I'm about to give you. What's new and why it matters. And it's going to matter to a lot of you people about your freedom, especially in America. What's new and why it matters now. What is generally new, the privatization of the interpretation of ICE isn't just collecting more data. They're going hard after been going on in Minnesota, right? Now they got Trump with them. So they're big now. More data. It's outsourcing judgments to private contractors. Private analysis aided by artificial intelligence are likely to decide what online behavior signals danger and what doesn't. That decision making happens rapidly across large numbers of people, for the most part beyond public oversight. Now they got AI. So you're relying on AI. This is what's dangerous about AI. People, please bring up the likes if you can. If you're watching, support the platform, right? At the same time, the consolidation of data means social media content can now sit beside location and biometric information inside Parliamentary Hub. Enforcement increasing happens through data correlation, raising questions about due process. That's why they were saying, and they already have this in place, if people are visiting America, especially from Canada, they want to see your 5 year social media background. They've been already been putting this in place. Like, it's crazy, people. ICE request for information is likely to evolve into full procurement contract within months. So probably by summertime. Recent litigation from the League of Women's Voters and the Electric Privacy Information Centers against the Department of Homeland Security suggests that the oversight is likely to lag far behind the technology. ICE plans to maintain permanent watch floors, open indoor spaces equipped with video and computer monitors that are staffed 24 hours a day, 300. Who's paying for this? Americans, the taxpayers. 365 days a year signals that this is likely isn't a temporary experiment, instead is the new operation. New world order. That's what it is. The new operation, new American order, right? People, please like and subscribe if you can. This is the new American order. And I know a lot of people are hurt right now. They don't want to hear this. I could tell by the algorithm, right? as I'm talking about social media. I could tell by the algorithm, this is your last times to speak your opinions. Imagine that. This is the last times the government is fighting against their own people. What accountability looks like. Transparency starts with public disclosure of the algorithm and the scoring system ICE uses. What? Advocacy groups such as the American Civil Liberties Union argue that law enforcement agencies should meet with the same warrant standards online that they do in physical spaces. Boy, 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 boy. That's a lot of information. It's a lot of information, people. I think this is going over a lot of Americans' heads. Straight up, this whole you're talking all about this, whatever, nothing's wrong with it, but you're talking about this Epstein. I knew there was a distraction coming, and it, as much as people are hungry to hear about all the famous people and powerful people who are involved, but that is the distraction for this. Meanwhile, people are arguing and talking about that they're watching you, they're beginning their program. So now when you start to talk bad about Trump, right? If you talk bad about Trump, if you talk bad about ICE, and you're really kind of influential, they're coming at you. They're coming right after you. Even if you didn't threaten, they might just make it up that you are a threat. They're coming right after you, people. Not good. This is not a good day for to be American. When most people think about immigration, the picture board, yeah, okay, I said all of that. I said all of that. Okay, request for information likely evolve into full. Okay, so it says what accountability looks like, transparency. Okay, so let me go into other thing. I got two articles on that. Two articles, and the second one was a lot of good information, right? Taking away your freedom. ICE wants to take away your freedom. Ice, ice, baby, eh? Say ice, ice, baby now. MAGA, say the ICE. I noticed MAGA been quiet for the last couple of days I've been on here. MAGA's silent. One or two people could talk, but then they disappear. Right? MAGA's quiet now. ICE wants to know if you're posting negative things. And these guys are wearing masks on top of it. So you don't even know who these people are. ICE wants to hire contractors. So it's over. Freedom of speech is over in America. 100%. No more. No more freedom of speech. That's finished. ICE wants to build out a 24/7 social media surveillance. They're going to get it, especially Trump, who's getting criticized every day. They're going to get it. So, what do you guys think about this? All right? What do you guys think about this? What's going on with your freedom? I know other people in the world don't care. They're probably laughing. Everybody in the world probably saying, damn, America is going through some shit right now. That's why even the tourism is down. People are saying, what? This is going to make other people not even want to come to America. I don't mean come there to live, just the tourists. No one's going to want to come there. So this is could have even hurt the economy. Believe it, it could hurt the economy. Remember, the biggest TikTok guy, he left America, right? And he sold basically his himself for almost $1 billion. His likeness, sold his likeness, and he took off to Africa, right? He ain't coming back to America. The biggest TikTok guy was ICE. I think he self deported before ICE was coming. I think ICE did lock him up actually, and then something happened there, but he left with the money. So this is gonna make hurt some business in America, guaranteed. It's like it's gonna hurt people. You're losing your freedom to even express yourself. How do people express themselves online? You can't do it anymore. So you can't go against the government. You can't talk against ICE. You can't even talk about maybe even, damn, it's getting bad. Maybe even other people, famous people. It's getting to that level. Black Wolf agreed. Yep. You can't talk about nobody. I seen this coming. I used to joke about it years ago. I seen it coming, and it's coming right now. I've been talking about this, and it's actually coming right now. I said like 2 weeks ago, maybe, yeah, 2 weeks ago about the TikTok, and it goes over people's heads. It goes over people's heads like, oh, what are you saying? Oh, yo, they really got you guys, a lot of you guys brainwashed. I'm sorry, man. Respect to some of my American folk, but they got a lot of you guys brainwashed, man. You got a lot of you now. You can't talk. You can't say nothing. And I know Americans love to express themselves. You love to express yourselves. So part of this is to protect those dirty, rich billionaires who was involved with Epstein. So they're included because you remember, if some of those guys were politicians and government workers, that means that you can't look these. They're not going to put them out there. And if they even put them out there, you can't criticize them because they're government people. Don't you see how they put you guys in a situation? So if you start seeing like guilty of some of these politicians who are American, you can't say nothing. That's what they just said. I could bring it back. You can't say nothing about them. And if you say anything, the government is in bed with them. How you guys feel about that? The government is in bed with some of these, well, you know that, with some of these dirty people, right? America warns about criticizing ICE on social media. And who is it protecting? It's protecting not just ICE, it's protecting politicians and a lot of different people. So, how do you feel about that? This whole thing, what they want to put out there with the monitoring, is going to protect dirty, filthy men who are doing stuff with Epstein. Because if they're a billionaire or you're a politician, it's going to help them. They love this. This is going. This is going on right now. This is in the works right now. This is in the works right now. Your freedom of speech is gone. That don't exist anymore. Like I said, TikTok is a preview. TikTok was a preview. Immigration Customs Enforcement is planning to increase online monitoring, right? To observe any negative sentiments people make online and collect information on individuals who make threats against ICE. So no more of that. No more of that. But it's not just one that way, it's going to be different ways. Democrats and Republicans agree with this. Damn. And no one's talking about it. Slowly, you see some people online talking about it, but it's like they're really scared to express themselves, right? They're taking baby steps. So soon it's gonna be it's gonna disappear. This story. Soon it's gonna disappear. This story, unless Americans stand up for their rights. And people, please subscribe. Only if you stand up for your rights, it's um it's not gonna disappear. But if you don't, it's gonna go through. It's gonna go through fully. You guys gotta fight this, man. Imagine now you're on Instagram. They want to take probably business away from all these corporations. Because imagine you're on Instagram, which maybe if you're American, you can't even post anything, period. Holy shit, imagine. You can't even post anything, period. So you might see other country post something about America. You can have no opinion on it. You can't criticize your president. You can't criticize your government. You can't say nothing. So someone from other country could be talking about America and on a post, and you can't say nothing. Imagine that. That's what I'm telling you guys. Where's your opinions? Unless you're from somewhere around the world. If you're American, in the chat, what's your opinions about this? Do you believe this is gonna fully go through? What do you think about the government? Because it is the government taking away, like doing all this monitoring stuff. It's on TikTok right now. TikTok, they want to know what your race is, what your sex is, what your opinions are about politics. There's a whole list of stuff they want to know. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not a good day for you guys. It's not a good day. Already, ICE has 5.5 million contracts for services with an identical name with DC-based security and intelligence contract called Bar what? Barbacuum? What kind of name is that? Barbaricum. but it's set to expire in March. That's next month. What a coincidence. So they got to make a new one. Damn. Whew. Not good, man. The statement of objectives and requests for information were posted to a government contracting website in November. This is Donald Trump. This is all Donald Trump, man. This is not good. So, within months, they're going to enforce this and you won't have no freedom to talk. Your freedom will be gone in America. Let me say it again. Your freedom will fully be gone in a couple months because they're saying all these millions of Epstein files, they have a list of people, what they're slowly going to start to expose online. And then when they expose them online, if they're really important and they're government officials, you can't say nothing. That's what they're saying. You cannot say anything about ICE. I mean, yes, ICE and the prime minister. I mean, I was going to say prime minister, the president, Donald Trump. So every other country is laughing, but not UK. UK ain't laughing. UK already felt this wrath. UK already got this. They felt this wrath, right? UK don't like this. So let me get another article. Integrity Press is called. Rising worries how ICE social media scrutiny affects freedom of privacy. Damn right. Privacy's gone. ICE plans to monitor social media threatens to turn America into a surveillance state like UK, silencing dissidents and trampling on constitutional rights. They don't give a damn. Key takeaways: ICE plans to hire contractors to monitor. I said that before. Your discussions, yep. Surveillance program gathers personal information on flagged individuals. Yep, they're going to be watching you, including social scrutiny, numbers, and addresses. Fuck, they're going to know your number, your phone number, and address, so they will visit you. Critics argue the initiative could infringe on constitutional protected speech. They don't give a damn. And resembles mass surveillance. Yes, it's enforced right now. There is little evidence that social media monitoring effectively advances security objectives. They don't care. Historically, marginalized communities and protesters are, I was saying that, affected by social media surveillance. Yes, they will. No one has said that it's nowhere just made up clickbait. No, no. This is real news. This is real shit. They already have it in TikTok. Keith Chapman. If you don't use TikTok, then that's why you don't know. They already have it in TikTok that they require the new update because America extorted the Chinese owner. Oracle, the platform, owns a piece of TikTok, requires your location, your race, your sex, your political back, what you feel. The list keeps going. TikTok, 200 million people, Americans are on that. Might have went down, but 200 million Americans are on that. So they require all that info and your location where you live. So I will not be surprised. This is a new story. It has not gone viral as much because you are questioning it, but it's real. It is real. Believe me, it's real. It's already going on in the UK. Your freedom is gone. You can't do no comments against the government or even what's called Democrats. So critics argue the initiative could infringe on constitutional protected speech that resembles mass surveillance. There's little evidence that social media monitoring is effectively advances security objectives. This is real. This is more than one article. Historical marginalized communities and protesters. Okay, ICE over or ICE Orwelling overreach monitoring American citizens. See, this is for you. In a shocking assault on our constitutional freedoms, Immigration and Customs Enforcement is planning to dramatically expand its social media surveillance capabilities. This isn't just about catching illegal immigrants. Let me tell you, It's not just about catching illegal immigrants anymore. It's about monitoring American citizens, you, online activities, and potentially suppressing free speech. You guys. The agency is seeking to hire private contractors skilled in sentiment analysis and facial recognition. You guys. To identify what is deemed as threats and negative discussions. You guys. About ICE and its officials. This blatant overreach could send chills down the spine of every freedom loving American. You. Yeah. And it's going through. It's going through. So you better go in the streets and start protesting if you can right now before it's too late. Go out in the streets like these other people who are protesting against ICE. And you better join the crowd. Because if you don't join the crowd, guess what? Your freedom is all gone. ICE claims this initiative is in response to the increased threats against the agents and leadership. That's true. However, the scope of this surveillance program goes far behind protecting ICE employees. The monitoring will include real time threat mitigation, vulnerability assessments, and proactive threat monitoring services. In other words, ICE wants to create a digital panopticon where every tweet, post, and comment critical of their action could potentially flag you as a threat. So you will be a damn threat, like a terrorist. That's bad. So you'll be a threat. Any American who criticizes, and it ain't just ICE, criticize the president, criticize politicians, you will be a damn threat. So Big Brother is watching, chilling effect on free speech. The implications of the surveillance program are truly Orwellian. I don't know what that means. Contractors will analyze social media activities for potential threats, including what they perceived as violent tendencies or affiliations, mean organizations, right? But who decides what constitutes a threat? Will expressing outrage over ISIS controversial tactics be enough to land you on a watch list? Prison, right? The program has the potential to create a chilling effect on free speech where Americans self censor out of fear of government. So you're not going to be talking. You guys will soon shut up. Man, no, please stop that. I enjoy even the negative comments, right? I enjoy the negativity even from the MAGA. We need freedom of speech, transparency. They're ruining everybody's fun, right? I appreciate your opinions. Now, when they do that, man, they're killing it, man. Man, I'm against this shit too. I'm against this. I don't want this to happen to all the Americans. I don't want this to happen. I'm against this shit too. Like, think of it. Nah, man. You gotta have people. Not everybody has to agree with everything, man. Taking away the. Come on, man. Can't do that. Even more disturbing is the system's capability to gather personal information and flag the individuals such as social security numbers and addresses. They're going that far. This isn't just about monitoring public posts anymore. It's about building detailed profiles on American citizens who dare to criticize government agencies. The use of facial recognition technology to find information associated with the subjects online takes this intrusion to a whole new level. This is like New World Order shit. Like, I know it's already in place, right? But damn, social insurance where you work, your money. So they're gonna stop your money if you even talk. Man, they're really beating you guys down, man. The history of targeting vulnerable. This isn't the ISIS first foray into controversial surveillance tactics. The agency has a troubled history of monitoring immigrant activities and targeting historically marginalized communities. Black, Latino, Muslim groups have long been, yes, we know they've been doing that, affected by the government's social media surveillance. Now, ICE seeks to expand its reach to potentially include any American citizen who expresses dissident. While surveillance programs like this is under any administration is concerned in privacy and free speech violation, I would fight to stop them. The rhetoric of the Trump administration makes the practice especially terrifying. Why, boy, this is not good for you guys, man. They're really trying to rip into you guys. What's particularly galling about this program is its inefficientness. There's little evidence that social media monitoring actually advances security objectives. They just want it, man. This power shit. In fact, the DHS pilot program have shown limited success in threat identification. The way how they're going about it, they just want to know everything about you. Begs the question, is really about security or is it about control and suppressing dissidents? Yeah, it's to suppress things, man. This is a sad day, man. Just reading this is depressing. If you're American and like all you guys are having fun and getting brainwashed with this Epstein shit, meanwhile they have this in motion. People, bring up the likes if you can. As freedom loving Americans, we must stand up against the blatant violation of our constitutional rights, the First Amendment, protect our rights to criticize the government without fear of reprisal. We cannot allow ICE or any other government agency to create digital policies that where every online interaction is monitored and potentially used against us. Damn, you're not like us for real. As the US Supreme Court has said, social media platforms have become, for many, the principal source for knowing current events, speaking and listening to modern public square, and otherwise exploring the vast realms of human thought and knowledge. They're locking that all up. This is a bad day. This is depressing to a lot of American folk, I tell you. It's depressing to a lot of American folk. It's time to it's time for Congress to step in and put an end to this overreach. We need strong legislation that protects Americans' privacy and free speech rights in digital age. ICE social media surveillance program is not just a threat to our constitutional freedoms, it's a step towards the kind of authoritarianism control that we've also fought against, meaning, Russia. We must resist the encroachment of our liberties before it's too late. Looks like it's too late for you guys, man. It's too late. It's not good. It's a bad, bad, bad time for you guys, man. Taking away all your freedom of speech. Can't say nothing. Mm-mm-mm. Whew. Man, everything's going over people's heads right now. It's really going over people's heads, this story. I could say. It's ridiculous. I try to spread the word, but it's going over people's heads a lot, this story. I know I might see some posts on Instagram about this, and people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I might see some posts about this, and some people may talk about it, but it's the end of days for freedom of speech in America. They're really putting this through with a lot of different surveillance companies. They're really going to be, like I said, Vance said it, they're going to be watching social media more than ever. More than ever, they're going to be sitting down, drinking their coffee, eating their donuts, whatever they do, and they're going to be on Instagram or whatever and say, "Hey, see, we got that guy. You see what he's saying? See what he's saying about Trump? We got him. We got him. You see, oh, that guy's talking about the ice a lot. Oh, okay. Mr. James. Okay, we got Mr. James. Yo, Mark, we got Mr. James over here. He's talking a lot about us. And he's saying some stuff about Trump, man. Yo, should we take this serious? Oh, just watch him. Mark him on Channel 9. Mark that guy, James, on Channel 9. We got him. He's talking a lot about the ICE stuff and the protests. And they're talking about how they should have guns and all this stuff so they could protect their homes. Okay, let's watch James. That's how they're gonna do it. Fuck. They're coming after all of you. I was telling you, man. This is scary news, man. This is scary news, isn't it? Everybody's silent like a mouse. Silent for MAGA. This is your government putting it through. Signing for MAGA. Do you know they want to even do stuff to your vehicles, that they could control your vehicles too? Do you even know that? That's another thing too. They want to control your vehicles so they know everything wherever you're going. They're planning that. That's a other plan. America is going to be a full police state. Everywhere's going to be a police state, but they're really digging into America. Everywhere's going to be a police state, but they're really digging into America a lot, right? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So they're digging into you guys, taking away your freedom. I just read a Bible of stuff which they plan, which is already in place. I've seen the evidence. They are doing it right now. And like I said, the biggest distraction is those Epstein files. That's the biggest distraction. The biggest distraction is those Epstein files. I was saying, talking about all these celebrities. ICE solicits social media surveillance contracts to identify critics. So you can't criticize them. Ice Ice Baby. This is Ice Ice Baby, right? Ice Ice Baby. Ice Ice Baby. Always watching how ICE plans to monitor social media. Oh, Lee. This is your guy. This is your guy. It's Trump. It's really Trump, you know. Trump doesn't want people to talk about him anymore. He's sick of it. He's sick of people criticizing him. But then again, right? He's protecting some of his friends. He's protecting some of his friends who may be in trouble, right? And being investigated for the Epstein nasty nut stuff. So now, Trump. Okay, let's see what Trump's talking about. Trump talks about social media and ICE. What does he got to say about it? Or he's going to be quiet? Is Trump going to be quiet, your guy? How Trump administration is using social media content to govern. Meanwhile, he could say anything too. Remember that. Trump could say anything he wants, but you can't say nothing. ICE plans to monitor negative social media. Unuttered by protest, Trump calls on ICE to expand. Okay, that's old. ICE plans to monitor. Keeps going. ICE has started targeting activities. How long ago is this? Trump remains unclear how deeply targeting activists will be. They're going to target you with social media. Everybody has a phone. Homeland Security wants social media sites to expose anti-ICE. That's New York Times. New York Times, people. New York Times. Oh, shit. And this keeps coming up. Continue. What do I have to put an email address? What's up with this? They won't even make me read this one. This is New York Times. What's up? They're already starting with the shit. They're already starting with the stuff. I'm not gonna. It says create a free account or log in, gain access to limited free articles. Before I could see this, no problem. They're already starting. They're already starting with the shit. This one is a good one too. They're already starting to monitor it. Damn, it's crazy. For sure, they're gonna mark this episode. Homeland Security wants social media sites to be exposed. That's 3 days ago. The Trump administration has aggressively tried to tampering down on criticism of ICE. Now I'm trying to look. Oh, NBC leans on MEMS and AI Magna. No. That's old. That's old. That's old. So they're already working. They're already working right now, doing a lot of stuff. Trump calls Olympics. Yeah. Billionaire owner Ambassador Bridge. Donald Trump and his policies and ticker all important news. So they already been doing it with the TikTok. They're already doing it with the TikTok. Maybe I should read about TikTok. The ones who do not know. They've taken all your freedom away from that platform, right? TikTok new policies. TikTok new policies. They already taken your freedom away. They already taken it away on that platform. People love TikTok. TikTok has introduced a new policy that includes updates to its brand content policy, which will take effective July 25th, 2005. I thought it was recent, so they've been doing it. These updates include restrictions on content related to body image. Okay, I don't want to hear that. Now, 2026, let's go. This is January. The new privacy policy, effective January 22nd, 2026, has raised concerns among users about data collection practices, including the potential for collecting precise location information. TikTok has updated its privacy policy to include clearer language about location information and plans to allow the US users to share their precise location with TikTok or opt out of the feature. Maybe. That's as they say. They're spying on your ass. These changes reflect TikTok's transition to a majority American owned company. So they bullied the Chinese owner. Let me read this. These changes has reflect TikTok's transition to a majority American owned company and its commitment to addressing national security concerns. They're a gangster with how they took that over, man. Very gangsters that the guy gave up a lot of power. Users are encouraged to review the updated policies and understand the implications of these changes on their data and privacy. There it goes. So, you know what? It's a sad and it's a bad, whatever situation the American government is putting against their own people. It's a sad day. Oof. How do you feel now about the freedom of speech in America? How do you feel now about Donald Trump? How do you feel? TikTok's new privacy policy is sparking backlash. It's the same thing with this new news with the ICE, right? Same thing with the new news with the ICE. Someone has a video, he says, stop posting on TikTok until you hear this new policy update. Yeah. TikTok's new privacy policy, here's what you need to know. I know all about it. Good thing I wasn't on that platform. But it doesn't affect me really. People are alarmed by TikTok's new terms and conditions. Are you surprised? So, they really got the digital ID. That's what it is. That thing is really the digital ID test. They got over, like, it might have went down, but they got over 200 million Americans on that. That's most of America. It's not all of America, but it's most of America. So I told you about what ICE is doing. ICE is basically going to be watching you more than ever. You can't say nothing about ICE. You can't say nothing about Trump. You can't really say nothing even about certain public figures because maybe they could call ICE on you. So you know how you could call ICE on the immigration? This is how it's going. You know how you could make a call, hey, I think there's some illegals next door, and yo, you should come and check them out. Get them. The same thing with this now. Now, if someone says, you know what? I seen this guy online and he's from Virginia. And he's been talking a lot about you guys. Even though you guys have this technology, he's been talking a lot about you guys. So you should check out his whatever, his YouTube, or check out wherever his Instagram. Oh, he's in Virginia and he's saying a whole bunch of shit about you. And after you're gonna hear ding ding ding, okay, oh damn. Open up the door and you know what you're gonna see? Oh, it's ICE. Oh, why are you here? Oh, damn. Well, why are you here? Oh, you know why you're here? Because of the stuff we've been hearing and monitoring about you, criticizing us online, and we don't appreciate it. So guess what? We're gonna give you a ticket, or we're gonna lock your ass up in jail. Yes, that's America. That is the new America. Let's call it. I'm gonna call it the new America from now. I'm not gonna call it America, just America. I'm gonna call it the new America because this is the new shit they're gonna be putting out, right? This is medicine, man. This is the new stuff coming soon. And he can't do anything about it. What's going on? It's not a nice time to be living in America. No one wants to visit down there that much anymore unless you're really, really filthy rich or you got some money that you don't give a damn what's going on. But it's not a good time to be American. It's not a good time. It's like a movie. TikTok's new privacy policy is sparking backlash. This is not too long ago. January 28th, updated. Here's what to know. TikTok now in US hands after social media service split from China. Based by based ByteDance earlier this year, it's raising concerns among some users about its new privacy policy, prompting questions about the scope of its data collection. ICE. TikTok on January 22nd confirmed that the new US based entity was in control of the app, with the venture formed to sidestep the federal law that forced ByteDance to either sell its stake in its platform or be cut off from the US market that same day. The company posted its new user terms and conditions and privacy policy. So Trump really won that because he was threatening to ban it before, right? Backlash to the new policies quickly spread on social media, with some users saying they deleted their app over privacy fears, while others flagged the changes for their followers. One complaint, a new provision stating that TikTok may collect precise location, like the ICE is doing, ICE, ICE, baby, information from users' device if they enable location services in their device settings, right? Oh, why is this coming up? Damn, I'm trying to get this information. See, they're already trying to do shit in other ways. TikTok on January 22nd confirmed that the new US based entity was in control of the app, with the venture formed to sidestep Fed. Okay, why are you blocking this shit? You see what they're doing? They're already doing the shit to other people. Well, I don't want to see this stuff. They're blocking the important information. Okay. Backlash to the new policies quickly spread on social media, with some users saying they deleted their app over privacy fears, while others flagged the changes for their followers. One complaint, a new provision stating that TikTok may collect whatever your location. I said that. Some social media users attacked the new privacy policy as beyond invasive and predatory, while others described the app's surveillance. ICE. A shift under US owners, TikTok's new geological practices are a change from its previous policy under ByteDance. Experts said the change in location data is the most stark because the previous privacy policy had explicitly said that the current version of the app do not collect precise GPS bullshit information. Catriona, whatever her name is, Katrina or Catriona Fitzgerald, Deputy Director of the Electronic Privacy Information Center, EPIC, a public interest research center focused on data privacy, right? She added, folks should be concerned about that your precise location data can be down to your address or even what floor you're on in your apartment building. That's the same stuff I read earlier about what ICE is doing. So they're going to be watching. They are watching, watching you all every day. They're watching. TikTok's new lead. What TikTok collects under its new privacy policy. Some TikTok users are also expressing concerns about the types of personal information the app says it may collect, although the previous privacy disclosed it might collect the same type of data under oath. Remember, they were criticizing China for doing this. That's why they had to take it over. That was the excuse. We got to take over this platform. This is what Trump was saying. We got to take over this platform because they're watching the Americans. This is a danger to our national security because China's watching us with this app. So we got to ban it. We got to have some type of control. You're damn right. The control to use it against your own people. That's why you wanted it. Okay, so this is what it does for you if you want to use TikTok, right? Racial or ethnic origin, ICE. National origin, ICE. Religious beliefs, ICE, because they're the ones putting it through probably the influence. Mental health diagnosis, ICE. Physical health diagnosis, ICE. Sexual life, ICE. Sexual orientation, ICE. What else? Status and transgender, ICE. Status of non binary, ICE. Citizenship status, ICE. Immigration status, ICE. Financial information, ICE. Government ins- issued identification numbers such as a driver's license and number, ICE. But the new policy also changes how TikTok describes its handling of sensitive data. The company now states that its process such as sensitive personal information in accordance with the applicable laws. The earlier policy framed this more narrowly, saying it used sensitive information only when needed to run the service to comply with legal requirements, for example, using payment details to process a purchase or driver's license to verify a user's identity. The new language mirrors that of the California Consumer Privacy Act, a law that requires businesses to disclose the type of information they collect, including race and ethnic origin, religious or philosophical beliefs, and their sex. This is bad. Bad. No freedom. It's all ICE. That was before this announcement recently. This is like from January. So I told you guys about this. I saw this coming. What about geolocation tracking? The biggest change between TikTok's current and previous privacy policies lie in the treatment of location tracking, which is now explicit classified as sensitive data in 2026 version. We may also collect precise location data depending on your settings and explain below the latest privacy policy states. Both older and newer versions note that TikTok may determine a user's proximity location based on signals such as their SIM card, region of IP address, but the new policy adds that TikTok is also allowed to collect the user's precise location if the person has enabled location, even if you take it off. They know where you are. ICE. ICE. ICE, baby. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. ICE. ICE, baby. This is ICE. No freedom. They're taking it all away from you guys. Right? No freedom for you guys, man. How you feel about that? Everybody quiet. This is like an apocalypse. No MAGA talking. The new policy notes that users can turn off location services from their device settings at any time. Sure. By contrast, the pre 2026 privacy policy explicitly states the current version of the app do not collect precise or proximity GPS. Sure, it doesn't. Information from US users. Sure, it doesn't. And then you're talking about ICE saying they want to do all this other stuff. You see how they lie to Americans? You see how the government think Americans are dummies, right? TikTok doesn't yet have a toggle to allow people to switch off their precise location data because the company hasn't yet added the tracking functionality to the app. The TikTok officials said, guaranteed that's already through. When the app rolls out the feature, users will see a prompt that asks whether they want to share their location. TikTok officials said, sure, they already have that shit. They know where you are. Bad. Bad. What do you guys think, people? Please like, subscribe, bring up the likes, bring up the likes. What do you think about this? ICE wants to know everything. They're only protecting themselves. That's what they're saying. It's a way to protect themselves. Do other social media apps track personal data? Other social media apps also track personal data, including Meta and X. Later privacy policies specifies that users can choose to share your current precise location and places where you've previously used X by enabling the settings in your account. Americans are notoriously lax. That's what they're saying. Americans are notoriously lax about providing apps with access to their personal data. Although about 8 into 10 say they're concerned about how what? They're concerned about how corporations use the data they collect about them. Pew Research Center found in 2023 survey, still more than half of the consumers agree to companies' privacy policies without reading them. They don't even read the shit. Everybody's guilty of that. They don't read it. Even I don't read the stuff sometimes. But now, you gotta read everything. You really gotta read it. So, the freedom of speech is gone. Freedom of speech thrown out the door. MAGA people, if you support Trump, you need to talk to him. You need to talk to him about this stuff. And people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. If you're a Trump supporter, you guys need to go out in the streets and do some protesting right now before it's fully in place. It's kind of already in place, but you guys need to kind of go out there and tell him we don't want any of this stuff, right? Go out there, speak to him. Well, he'll hear you guys. Hopefully he respects you guys, and this doesn't go fully through, but it is going through. They're basically talking about it. It's going through, and it's not going to change, right? It's not going to change. It's going through. Your freedom of speech is dead. Even though you have a constitution, they don't respect it, especially this administration. They don't respect the constitution, what they claim, and your freedom is out of the door. Your freedom is out the door. No more freedom, right? No more freedom of speech. ICE is taking that all away from you guys. They're doing a big job of monitoring, right? And people, please like, subscribe, comment if you can right now before it's gone. You got to express yourself right now before your freedom is fully gone. Imagine within a year or so on Instagram, you guys can't criticize Trump. You can't criticize ICE. And if you do it, you're going to be looked on as a criminal. They're going to be coming knocking at your door, right? Knocking at your door. So the distraction I was talking about, this Epstein stuff, is for real. And all the other shit what they put out there is a big distraction. They really have a distraction out there, a distraction machine. And the distraction is that, which is sad, and I hope Trump goes and talks in a conference about this. Trump should have a conference about this if he cares about you guys, MAGA people who support him, and warn the MAGA people, because it's the Democrats and the Republicans that agree on this. So he should come out, speak, and talk about what the ICE is going to do. Because if he doesn't do that, you're going to get a knock at your door one day because you've been on social media, right? Fighting back and forth, replying, commenting, and then you're gonna see yourself either get a charge, like money, or they're gonna lock your ass up. It's already going on in the UK. They've been locking people up for so-called speaking against the government. They've been monitoring people and they've been locking people up, right? And they got that. They wanted to put the whole digital ID in place. They wanted to do that. They wanted to put the digital ID in place, but it didn't really go through because people were fighting and protesting in the streets. People, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes if you can. This is scary. This is scary for a lot of Americans, right? But I seen this coming. It's called part of the new world. You know what I'm going to say because they mark that shit whenever I say it. They're scared of this word, what I say. The NWO. It's part of the NWO stuff, right? Seen this coming years ago. The conspiracy theorists now look sensible, don't they? Don't they? Don't they look sensible right now? Now you're Constitution, he's just throwing that away. He's spitting on that. Trump is spitting on your Constitution, claiming that he's for the Constitution. He's spitting on it. He doesn't give a damn, right? So now, look, perfect example. MAGA's scared to talk. All the MAGA people who I've seen in the chat, or the people even against Trump, the Americans who are against Trump, he ain't going to talk anymore. You're going to be quiet now because ICE is coming for you. ICE is going to be coming for you. Imagine now, you can't say nothing. This is like a movie. No freedom of speech. Sad. People, please subscribe. I told you about TikTok. I was warning you guys about this whole TikTok stuff. I was warning you about the TikTok, and some people didn't take it seriously. It's gone. Just look it up. I promote people to look up the information, what I'm speaking, because it's facts. Right? Go do your own research and look up the TikTok, even if you don't use it, right? And then you come back to me on this platform when I have another episode. Look it up. So now ICE is just following through. Who are they copying? Russia. Let me bring up Russia to show you that America is no different almost than Russia. Let me bring that up. Russia banned social media. Russia bans social media. Social media. That's just recent in the last maybe week. ICE is following Russia right now, right? Russia says it has blocked WhatsApp amid wider clampdown on social media. Coincidence? Is that a coincidence? Russia is restricting access to Telegram, one of the most popular social media platforms. Russia is restricting access to Telegram, one of the most, so that's one of them. They don't that platform's kind of shady. So it says social media in Russia, what is allowed and what's not. This is what's coming to America, right? Already, or it's already going on. Social media in Russia, what's allowed and what's not, and how the law monitors techniques and technologies evolving. Sounds similar to what's going on in America. From threatening to YouTube to banning Instagram verification badges and restricting WhatsApp and Telegram calls, the Kremlin is systematically narrowing access to international social media platforms at the same time. It props up domestic alternatives like VK and YouTube. They have their own thing as spaces for open communication with outside world. Social media is now heavily monitored. Sounds like what they're doing in America now. What they're planning to do, monitored and censored and weaponized for state control. Meanwhile, new legislation even penalize users for simply seeking banned content through VPNs, making it dangerous, escalating in Kremlin's effort to control not just Russia, not to what Russians say online, but also what they see and search for. Sounds similar. Blocks and restrictions on what's left. Recently, voice calls on WhatsApp and Telegram restricted for users in Russia. The fear is these popular messaging apps 74% of Russians use. WhatsApp and 57 Telegram could soon be fully blocked. In the country, they function as essential communication platforms for Russians, both inside and outside of Russia. They help those remaining in Russia to keep in touch with their compatriots and relocate. This is some shit. It's the same thing. The same thing. I don't even need to read all of this. Russia's been just a week ago they've been talking about this. Just a week ago. So America's going the same way. America's doing the same thing like Russia. So they're going the communist way, right? Laws affecting social media. According to Russian law, the social media is defined as its website or applications with more than 500, I think they're saying 500,000 daily users. They are subject to certain restrictions, including a ban on publishing extremist materials, inciting terrorism, distributing pornography and drug related information, as well as disseminating material from undesirable and extremist organizations. Any platform hosting such materials must promptly remove them. Failure to do so can result to fines, blockage, or infringing platforms. They're doing the same shit like America, just in their own language, man. They're doing the same thing. Well, actually, let me say it. Let me bring it back. Bring it back. America's doing the same thing like Russia. America is doing the same thing like Russia. They're copying Russia. So Trump is really influenced by Russia. Trump is really influenced by what Russia's doing. Yeah, man, you people are scared of this. You should be. You should be. Monday's a slow night, but I'm giving you it. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Government surveillance and AI. So I'm comparing what the ICE is going to bring to America, or they're already doing. They're going to be watching you, policing you. You can't say nothing on social media. You can't do no comments. You can't reply to people soon. They're soon going to be watching wherever you live and maybe knocking your door, giving you a fine or arresting you in America. The ICE. They're coming for you, the normal American citizen, not just undocumented person. You, the normal American citizen. Please like and subscribe, comment if you can. I could tell people are scared by this episode. The Russian government, now this is government surveillance and AI monitoring. The Russian government widely uses technology, including AI tools like ICE, what they'll be doing, to track users' activities on social networks. In the late 2020, Rachmaninoff launched an AI-powered system called a Calculus. By February 2023, a Calculus was operated and could automatically review over 200,000 images and videos per day for prohibited content. It recognizes banned symbols, images, and text, flagging content related to extremism, protests, unsanctioned protests, fake news about the war, drug use, suicide, and what Russian authorities deem to be LGBTQ. That's illegal too in Russia. So this is what's coming to America. I've been telling you guys. So if you don't listen, you're going to learn. If you don't listen, my fellow Americans, you're going to learn. Soon I'm going to be seeing a lot of Americans crying about their mouth being shut. This is going to be you guys. You only could watch. Imagine this is you, bro. It's already happening. A lot of you just watching. You can't say nothing, eh? You're scared, right? Oh, Louis. People been silent for the last 20 minutes or half an hour. All that talk. Now you're probably Googling it. You're probably looking on your phone to see what I'm talking about, if it's real. And it's really happening in real time. Yeah. This is a slow night, but I got to give the information. I'm not waiting till Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not waiting till Friday. I have to give you guys this because if I don't, it won't be good. So the ICE is taking away Americans' freedom to express, right? It's all gone. Bye bye. Bye bye, people. It's all gone. They'll be watching you. I don't like this because now you can't debate with Americans. You're going to have to be quiet. You're going to have to shut your mouth. You're going to have to be very quiet. Can't say nothing. And if you talk, you might lose your job. So I don't know what else to say. All I could say is please like, subscribe, comment if you can comment, all that good stuff. If you can even comment. It's over now. This episode is sad for all Americans. The ICE is coming for you. ICE is coming for you. So stay tuned. Freedom is gone. So look it up or watch this episode, share this episode with your people, right? Just share it because guaranteed you guys will feel it within a couple months. It's already going on with TikTok, right? All your freedom's gone. Police state, NWO, 100%. Oh, well, it's time for me to go, but I'm on Spotify, right? Down to Earth Network, on Apple Podcasts, Down to Earth Network, iHeartRadio, Down to Earth Network. And this is your host, Sean Myrie of the Down to Earth Podcast. I'm out.